May I please your lordship?
1 second.
May,
Just 1 second.
But at this proceeding, but I am appearing on behalf of the major Milord Industry Association, which is the ASSOCHAM, Wiki Milord, and CI. But we have filed applications today morning. Lord,
If the application is not numbered, it is not registered, we'll follow what sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Mr. Rodgi, sorry, no oral mentioning in my court.
No, I'm not Milord. I'm in the matter. I am saying.
We have no such application on board. Let it be circulated. We'll deal with it in the normal course.
But Milord, I am respectfully submitting. If
Sorry,
Lordship make
appearing
an order
for big
today,
clients, we will not tolerate this. You have to follow the rules in my
but
court.
Milord, if your Lordship make an order today, my application will be infructuous. I am saying kindly defer the issue of grant of alphanumeric.
Mr. Rodgi, you are aware of what proceedings were going on. You could have intervened at that stage. What is this after the judgment is passed? You want to intervene now?
No, Milord, the order is of 15th March.
No, but you are aware about the proceedings pending before this
But
court.
Milord, we were not parties anywhere.
Together.
We were not parties at any time.
Everybody, the whole world knew that this matter was being heard.
Milord, I have
Come
no.
back 1 second, Mr. Rodgi. You come here after the judgment is delivered. You are now, you file an application. That's not the way.
Milord, I have come only in regard to
Circulate
15th March. Kindly appreciate.
No, Mr.
I have no problem in
Rodgi,
declaration of the list of donors or the list of recipients.
Mr. Rodgi will not hear you right now. We have a specific application which is on board. You ask your advocate on record to follow the procedure. File an email. It will be dealt with by my registrar listing. We'll take a. We'll get it. No.
I am saying kindly. Milord,
If I do it for Mr. Rohatgi, senior counsel, then Mr. Rohatgi, you look at me. As Chief Justice, I have no face to tell all the other juniors to whom I declined list mentioning in the morning. What sauce for the goose is sauce for the
I am
gander.
not mentioning. I am not appearing in the matter and making a submission.
We have no such application on board before us.
Milord, I have got it with
I've made my
my lord, the entire judgment has.
Second, you wait.
Lord, those before the court started giving press interviews, deliberately embarrassing the courts, my lord, and there is, Lord, a non-level playing field. My lord, on this side, nobody can rebut that. Neither government can do, nor state bank can do, nobody else can do. Thereafter, my lord, a series, a barrage of social media posts, my lord, at least intended to cause embarrassment, started during these 2 days. And thereafter, my lord, now it's anybody's field. It's an open field. My lord, statistics, your lordships are aware, can be twisted in any manner the person wants. It's a matter of, my lord, intelligence of the reader to understand. Now, my lord, based upon the twisted and other statistics, my lord, any kind of posts are being made. I know, my lord, your lordships cannot control that. The question is, would your lordships, my lord, consider issuing a direction which has a necessary and inevitable fallout, which the court would not be able to control? Lord, that saying Mr. Rodgi gave this money to this, then they have their own conclusion.
Mr. Solicitor, we are only concerned about enforcing the directions which we issued in clauses B and C of para 221.
That's
As judges, we decide according to the Constitution.
correct, my lord.
We are governed by the rule of law. We are also the subject matter of comment on the social media and the press. But surely, as an institution, our shoulders are broad enough.
No, I'm saying, I'm not, my lord, for a
Our
second.
court has an institutional role to play in a polity which is governed by the Constitution and the rule of law. That's the only job.
Lord, my purpose is to inform your lordships that there is something else playing out which neither your lordships intended nor the scheme intended.
One at a time. Sorry, Mr. Rodgi. Yes.
No, my lord, my submission is the entire judgment has been rendered behind the back of the public at large. This judgment doesn't constitute justificator. This judgment doesn't constitute justificator.
1 second.
Yes.
1 second.
This
1
judgment is
second.
void.
Please listen to me. You're not, 1 second.
I am a citizen of this country.
1 second.
Yes.
Don't shout at me.
No, I am very soft.
Please listen to me.
Yes.
This is not a Hyde Park corner meeting, okay? You are in the court.
Yes.
You want to move an application?
No, my lord.
File an application. What I told Mr. Rodgi applies to you.
No, my lord, the question is, my lord,
There's no question you've got.
my friend has come.
Mr. Nedumpara, 1 second.
Yes.
You've got my decision as Chief Justice. We are not hearing you. If you want to file an application, move it on the email. That's the rule in this court. No further.
We will go by what your lordship.
All, please.
Whatever your lordship says, we will go by that.
Do you want another contempt notice?
Your lordship will go by
You have
whatever
had
your
enough
lordship
to
says.
Bombay.
Only I have said what I wanted to say. That this judgment is rendered behind the back of the people of this country. It doesn't bind us. It doesn't constitute us. It is not a representative.
Do not, please, once we have said no, please move the application by email.
What your lordship says.
Do not continue and persist.
Yes, I only said it was not a representative proceeding.
Nedumpara, you are
All the way coming from Kerala.
You are obstructing in the administration of justice.
Hello, my lord.
You are obstructing in the process of administration of justice.
The entire judgment is against behind the back of these people. Parliament has been rendered irrelevant.
That's all. That's all. We heard that. Please, that's all. You made it.
We are in a democracy.
We will not hear you till you follow the procedure prescribed.
We are filing it.
Please do.
We are filing it.
Please do. We'll consider it afterwards.
Yesterday at 10 o'clock. My friend came from Kerala to took a 1 o'clock flight. Be kind to us. Be kind to
That's
us.
all. Please, we will not hear that.
In
Please
democracy,
call for the application. Please follow the application.
democracy.
My lord, may I mention, my lord, my petition for so moto that is pending. Whatever lordship want to do, that do only. I will not disturb lordship.
Mr. Agarwala, apart from being a senior counsel, you're the president of the SCBA.
Yeah.
You know the procedure. You have written a letter to me asking me to invoke my suo moto jurisdiction.
Yes, yes, my lord.
No locus to mention.
So
anything.
that I should not disturb
But
lordship.
what you
We
have
should not waste it honorable time, court's time.
Fair
That's
enough.
why.
Lord,
Only that.
These are all publicity-oriented stunts. We will not permit it.
Not a handmaid of a.
Whatever
Please,
lordship feel better.
Mr. Agarwala, please keep it at that. I may have to say something more, which will be perhaps a little distasteful. Please close it.
Senior to your lordship.
Nedumpara, it is enough now.
Also senior to your
It
lordship.
is enough.
65-year-old man. Lord.
Be kind to us. We are very polite and begging with your lordship. The lordship has
Yes.
a soft language.
Nedumpara, we have been telling you that you are interfering. You are obstructing us.
No.
Now,
Look at this.
if you don't stop, we will have to.
When we are not heard and we feel threatened. Sorry, Lord.
Follow the line.
Yes, Pala. Yes, hearing now. We issued notice on the last occasion to State Bank of India. Mr. Kapoor, you are appearing? You are appearing
Mr. Salve is also there.
for the State Bank?
That's right.
Yes.
But before I begin, Lord, I must submit an apology, Lord, because of my colorful gray hair, Lord, because of the holy part. That's the disadvantage of having too many children and grandchildren. You can't save yourself.
It has nothing to do with the alcohol.
It does not. Holy means not partly alcohol, Lord. And I must confess, Lord, I am fond of at least whiskey part. So.
I'd make a distinction between technology and the social media. Now, the social media is, of course, based on technology, but they're two separate facets which we need to look at. Now, social media is a reality. In our courts today, you have live tweeting by the minute. Every remark which is said by a judge is conveyed on social media. That's something which we needn't stop. We cannot stop. And obviously, we are the receiving end on occasion. And sometimes the criticism is fair, sometimes the criticism isn't fair. But I do believe as judges, our shoulders are broad enough to accept the critique which people have of the work which we do.
I appear for the State Bank.
Yes. Mr. Salve, in
Yes.
our order which we, in the judgment which we delivered, we had expressly asked State Bank of India to disclose all details. The language of the judgment was all details have to be disclosed. Therefore, that includes the bond numbers as well. So, let SBI not be selective in the disclosure of details. We intend to clarify that it shall disclose all details, including the bond numbers, and every part of the information which is in its possession and custody. Don't wait for an order of the court. We banked on the fact that the State Bank of India would be candid and fair to the court.
But I just Whatever your lordship say, if your lordship say bond numbers, you can disclose the bond number. There's no problem.
But tell us
Somebody
one
can
thing,
screen them.
why has the SBI not disclosed?
I wanted to tell my lord how we understood your lordship's judgment. Give me 5 minutes only to explain our conduct. We'll, of course, if your lordship say give anything more, everything will be given, but there's no question.
SBI's attitude appears to be, you tell us to disclose a particular detail and we'll disclose it. That's not fair process.
How we understood.
This is the judgment of the Supreme Court. As chairman of the State Bank of India, I'm duty bound to comply with the judgment. I will disclose every part of the information which is in my custody as directed by the Supreme Court. Because when we said all details of the purchases, that means every conceivable detail which is available with State Bank of India. And we clarified by saying including. That should be, State Bank of India has the best legal advice open to it.
In conclusion, as I welcome my brothers to the bench, I would like to share my 2 cents of wisdom as someone who has been here at the Supreme Court for a little while longer. Consider this also to be my advice to the young lawyers out there. There is a vast body of literature on how judges must decide and what goes into legal decision making in general. While the knowledge of the law and the context of its enactment are important, it is ultimately the understanding of people's problems that makes us better lawyers and judges. I believe decision making is somewhat like, to borrow the words of a distinguished scholar, riding a bicycle. If you are teetering out of control, it is unlikely that a complicated theory will help you to restore the balance. In the moments of imbalance,